So Cleveland out of timeouts, and they catch a break. Jacksonville has to call their last timeout because Kawaki Thomas was all the way down the field. Now Tom Coughlin on the sideline. He's got that nervous twitch.
When the Browns almost went up on the line of scrimmage knowing the clock was running, hey, it's 4th down, you've got time, huddle up. Don't worry about the touchdown right now. Worry about getting those 2 yards for the 1st down. How about Jamel White? We haven't seen him catch the ball in this drive.
White lines up as the single setback. Couch, pumping, looks backside underneath. And it's caught. Morgan with the catch at the 10. And he did a tremendous job to hang on to the football. Gets the 1st down, clock still running.
Now just spike the ball, don't even waste the play. Or maybe they're even calling a play.
And he spikes it. And the clock stops with 48 seconds remaining.
And I'm just wondering if that was going to be one of those fake spikes.
I thought he was going to do that.
It looked like
a la Peyton Manning earlier this year against New Orleans.
And you know what? What the Jags are saying, when his arm came forward, you actually have one chance to spike it. They're saying that that's a fumble. Or, you know what, they're not a fumble, I'm sorry, Gus. They're saying that it's intentional grounding because he wasn't out of the pocket. So you have that initial chance to go ahead and spike it, but he faked it. And at that point, when he throws it into the ground, it becomes intentional grounding because you're not outside the pocket. Look at it. See the fake right there? He did it the 2nd time. So he wasn't throwing it to anybody. So what they're discussing is, should that be intentional grounding?
Should it?
Yes. I believe the way the rule's written, that's exactly what it is.
So this is what we've been told. That the replay officials on the previous play, the 4th down play, they tried to buzz the referees on the field, and they wanted the ref to take a look at where the ball was on the Quincy Morgan reception to review it.
Replay buzz prior to the snap. We'll be looking to see if the last pass was incomplete or complete.
That's the 4th down reception by Quincy Morgan.
So so they actually overruled that last play, and they're trying to see if this is a catch or not. And you see it sliding out from Quincy Morgan, and boy, that ball didn't necessarily stay in the grasp of Quincy Morgan. It looked like he was trying to pull it up. And so forget the potential grounding call, which I thought the Jags were going after originally. They were saying Quincy Morgan was juggling that ball. And I actually think he was. You have to have, Gus, you have to have possession and 2 feet down. And if that ball's gonna hit the ground, you're gonna have to maintain possession. That ball can't be sliding around. And Gus,
but what Butch Davis is going to argue is that it's too late. It's too late. Because another play had already been run. And how can you go back 2 plays?
And I guess there was a malfunction in the system. That's what they said. They were buzzing down, trying to get the replay.
Now argue this until he's blue in the face.
And Gus, you know, you can't challenge in the last 2 minutes, but you can clearly get the ref's attention by jumping up and down and throwing that flag. I want to go back and see if Quincy Morgan had that ball and had 2 feet down. It was very close because the 2 feet only count once you have possession. And you can see the ball sliding down his leg right there. Now he got 2 feet down, but did he have possession of the ball when he got the 2 feet down? Is that, see, you can, there's holding onto his leg, and it looked like he still had it there, and then it was coming out. Wow. And so
this is a mess.
I think the way that the rule states is that It goes back to what was called on the field. They called it a completion. So it's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it. And they ran another play, which I've never seen happen in this replay.
After review, the pass is incomplete. First down, Jacksonville.
So they say he was juggling the ball. And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play. And like I said, in the history of replay, Gus, once another play has been run, I have never seen them go back and say we're replaying another play. And I mean, this is serious stuff here in Cleveland. This is a playoff spot potentially on the line.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
And it's getting ugly here fast.
So Jacksonville will take the football back at the 10-yard line. Because of this, they say this is an incomplete pass.
Boy, I don't know. He had those 2 feet down. Then you see the ball coming out.
But what the fans are upset with is the Browns were able to get to the line of scrimmage and run another play. But then the officials went back 2 plays and made the ruling. They said that there was a malfunction with the communication system between the replay officials in the booth and the officials on the field. And here was the play. They snapped it before the referees or the officials were able to stop the game.
And we were talking about the potential grounding call, but the Jags were talking about the play prior.
And the rules are pretty specific. Once another play is run, it can't be reviewed.
And so they were talking about the malfunction in the system. That's what the replay booth has called and told us. But we don't make the rules.
And bottles have been thrown on the field.
And that's one thing that we haven't had since replay has come back. We haven't had that situation, Gus, where another play has been run and we've gone back.
Fortunately, those bottles are plastic. But these Cleveland fans are irate. And they're trying to clear the end zone.
Yeah, well, the Cleveland fans aren't helping any right now by throwing stuff on the field. They got no better than that. And it's frustrating. The players are frustrating as well. And the players are sitting on the sideline looking around dazed, trying to figure out how this happened. And we've just
Butch Davis still arguing his case.
And we've just never seen that. Once the play is run, it's all over. And you see teams before try to get up to the line of scrimmage and run another play so they can get beyond the review if they feel it's going to go against them.
So,
well, what the officials need to do is they need to get on the PA and get control of this game and get control of the fans. They're letting it get out of control because they're not communicating what's going on. Take some control down there and get this situation going. Let us know why and what happened. Talk about the other play being run off, because that is an unusual situation. You've got to let everybody know why this is happening, because just like up here in the booth, nobody has any idea what's going on because they're not telling us.
the Browns came into this game with 6 wins, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive, needing a win today over Jacksonville.
Well, the one thing you got to do if you're the officials right now, if the ball is indeed Jacksonville, then just call the game and get these guys off the field. It's not worth somebody getting hurt. If the fans are going to throw crap on the field, take control and get the players off the field, because this is ridiculous. Just get rid of the.
So let's take a look back. Tim Couch. Here he is. Watch the referee in the left part of the frame. And that referee is not blowing anything dead until after the ball was spiked. And now they're going to call the game.
That is the end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was the right call.
48 seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to take.
I think this has been just a fiasco by the referees today.
Well, that was the right call. You got to end the game. The fans are throwing crap on the field.
Especially when you consider how big of a game this was for the Cleveland Browns. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'll be anxious to hear the official explanation of the way that replay situation came down, because once another play is run, you can't go back.
This is bullshit. I tell you what.
And these officials really need to get off the field.
And you know what? The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourselves by throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room. And Butch Davis is speechless. He doesn't know what to say or what to do. So let's go back. Here was the 4th down catch by Quincy Morgan, or non-catch.
And they ruled it a catch on the field. So remember, Gus, it has to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it. I don't know if it's irrefutable evidence to overturn it, and they run the next play. There's the referees. They let their next play run. Nobody's blowing a whistle. Nobody's doing anything. Now this official's going to wave off the play. Incomplete after
the ball had been spiked.
Well, miscommunication and a problem with the replay system
may have cost the Cleveland Browns a chance to go to the playoffs.
You've got to communicate and let everybody know what's going on.
So the game stopped with 48 seconds left on a call that I'm sure will be talked about in Cleveland for probably the next 6 months. 15-10, the final score. And there's the scene.
And the fans are just littering the field. And a fella right in front of us, Gus, got hit in the head with looked like a radio and just split his head wide open. And he's down. And the fans have to be smarter than that.
Once again, here's the 4th down play. Quincy Morgan.
Now, it looked to me like he had possession. Now, you got to have 2 steps. And that ball was sliding, but did he have it pressed up against his leg?
How about the snap? Do we have any kind of clarity?
And there's Tim Couch on the next play, spiking the ball. So another play was run after the Quincy Morgan's catch.
Referees are claiming, this is what the referees are claiming from replay, is that they were saying they were blowing the ball dead as the ball was being snapped. And from what we've seen on our replays, that's inaccurate. So what an ending. Jacksonville wins 15-10. A controversial ending here in Cleveland. Coming up next, it's the Subway postgame show. They're going to talk about this for a long time to come. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS.
In Cleveland, there's a big story at the end of this game here. The fans there in Cleveland, very disturbing scene as the Jags win it today, even though they committed 3 turnovers and were sacked 8 times. This is Henry running it back 97 yards for a touchdown.
And you got to talk about Stacey Mack in this game for Jacksonville. He rushed for 115 yards. Here's the throw by Couch, and that's the play. Did he have possession? He did not have possession, but Cleveland came back and got a playoff before they reviewed it. And so the fans didn't like, he does not have possession. That ball is out.
Well, they got but they got right on the line of scrimmage and ran a spike play.
That's right.
And by rule, it says if you get a playoff, then it's dead.
Look at this right here. I mean, beer bottles all over the field. and they called the game. You see right there with 48 seconds to go. And this is just a disgraceful scene in Cleveland as the officials are showered with bottles. And now we're hearing an update here in Cleveland. Gus Johnson was calling the game, and I believe they may be bringing the teams back out. This is like last year's Miami at New England game. Let's go to Gus Johnson out there at Cleveland. Gus?
All right, Jim, a wild sequence of events have taken place. Both teams went into the locker room. The officials went into the locker room as well. And from what we understand, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue called the officials in the locker room and has said that this game must be completed with 48 seconds remaining. And the score 15-10. So let's take a look at actually what happened. Trying to make a catch from Tim Couch. And let's take a look.
Quincy Morgan's going to come underneath. Has to have possession. That means possession of the ball and 2 feet down. And the Browns get up to the line of scrimmage here and run a spike play. Tim Couch. And once you run another play, you can't go back and replay.
And listen for the whistle. Clearly after the ball had been spiked. And then the official, the referee, then looked down at his buzzer. And I believe that's when he was notified by the replay official in the booth saying that the 4th down play should be reviewed. But the controversy comes in. The play had already been downed, and whether or not they can go back 2 plays to review a play.
And you can't. Once another play is run, you can't do that. And you know what? There was no whistle blown between Quincy Morgan catching the ball and getting the 1st down and the next play. It was very obvious. You could hear the audio. There was no whistle.
So most of the fans already on their way home, but some still here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Just a wild sequence. This is what they wanted to review. Once again, Quincy Morgan, was it a catch or was it not a catch?
And you see the ball sliding down his leg. He had 1 foot down with maybe possession. Getting that 2nd foot down, that ball was sliding even further down his leg. So they ruled that that indeed was not a catch. The problem coming from the fact that they went ahead and ran the next play. You see Tim Couch right there spiking the ball and going ahead and stopping the clock. Here's a referee saying incomplete pass. There was no whistle, nothing prior to the play, and nothing prior to the snap. So another play had been run, and therefore you can't go back 2 plays to review a play.
Now watch the referee after he rules it an incomplete play. Now watch him go to his hip. You don't see it on that angle. You saw it on the other angle. Do the other angle. Now watch this angle. You should be able to see it. After it's ruled an incompletion. First, the 1st down. The controversial catch or non-catch.
And you see him marking the ball right there. They're not reviewing it. They're not blowing it incomplete. So the call in the field was it's a catch. It's a 1st down. They're marking it. None of the officials are blowing the whistle. Nobody.
And keep your eye on the referee.
And that was the first time you blew the whistle. And Gus, you were right. You checked his buzzer right after he blew the spike play incomplete. And so many different things going on. Actually, the spike play was the 2nd motion down. Tom Coughlin was arguing the fact that it was intentional grounding on the spike play.
And he's going to his buzzer after the play.
So another play had been run, and they were trying to go back and replay, although it's too late at that point.
The Browns should still have the football. And right now, we don't know who will have the football. With 48 seconds to go, the officials called the game because the fans had started to throw bottles and cans, and in front of us was hit in the head with a Walkman or a CD player. So it's an ugly scene here in Cleveland. So here in Cleveland, we still are up in the air. In the meantime, let's go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, we've got coaches' challenges in a couple of overtime games right now.
So the final from Cleveland, 15-10. Jacksonville beats the Browns on a wild day here in Cleveland.
Gus, I tell you, what a tough way to go out of the playoff.
I've never seen anything like this.
Never have. All these years with replay, once another play has been run off, we've never seen a crew go back and replay a play before that.
So 15-10, the final. The Jaguars have defeated the Browns. Wild day here, Jim Nantz. Let's go to New York.
Hi, I'm Rob Johnson. The coverage live of any play action past the 4:15 rule, but all it was a couple of Brunel kneel downs, 2 snaps, and it was official. Some of those players, I'm sure, had to go back in the locker room, get redressed, come back out just to.
Well, I wouldn't worry about the players as much as the officials. They'd finally gotten in, and they got stoned pretty good. They threw everything at them.
And listen, I know there was maybe a tough judgment call there by the officials, but that was disgraceful.
Well, it's a wrong call.
We saw out of those wrong call, but you can never, ever justify.
I never justified it, but it was a wrong call. The NFL, no use bringing them back out on the field. Correct the call.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the replay call, the catch, no catch, and that's not what you're talking about.
Can't do that.
You're talking about bringing them back out.
Right.
And your take on the fans?
Well, the fans are wrong. You can't do that. You can't throw stuff on the field. You get somebody killed.
Tim Couch, Quincy Morgan. Browns coming up to the line quickly because they're running short on time. And as the Jags say, that wasn't a catch. Tom Coughlin, you're going to see he's going to spike the ball first. Couch is. Spikes it with 49 seconds left, 1st and goal. We got a fantastic finish. Coughlin saying, I called for a review. And does anybody know anything about the Notre Dame game? The refs confer. I'm really interested in South Bend, and I need a review on that last play. Well, they go to the big camera as you take another look from one of the cameras that was there. And did Morgan have it? Well, it's definitely debatable whether he had possession when his hip hit and then the ball hit and he retained possession if he ever had it. Now, Butch Davis is saying, hey, once we spike the ball, it's moot, whatever Coughlin wanted. Okay, the fans, they've got issues of their own because the play was overruled, so they start pelting everybody. Now, everybody left the field. Then finally, the teams came back out. All the beer bottle throwers were already gone. The Jags take a knee. The game is officially over. And, well, Cleveland fans, they may have issues with the play call, with the officiating, but that's not the way you go about showing them. 15-10 is your final. So the Browns, they came into this one with scant playoff hopes. Those hopes diminished a little bit more. The Browns had 47 yards rushing today. They've now been limited to fewer than 100 yards rushing in 11 straight games. You need Greg Pruitt. Sam Mackey at 115 yards for the Jags as Brunel and company. Well, Brunel improves to 7-1 against the Browns, and Jacksonville is now 4-0 all-time at Cleveland.
What's going to happen because of this, because of what this official has done, you're going to lose instant replay. Just because of something like this. And instant replay is good for the game because it corrects a mistake. This case, it didn't correct the mistake because they misused it. Now, when the commissioner called him and said, take him back on the field, then to me, my understanding would be, hey, take him back out on the field. It's 2nd down. It's Cleveland's ball.
It's Cleveland's ball going the other way, right?
That's what it should have been.
All right, so the Browns with that loss now fall to 6-7.
Lights allow the unthinkable. Can the Jets change their December losing ways and keep postseason hopes alive? Did Brady's bunch fall victim to the 2-10 Bills? How will the Broncos fare with Farad at the helm? Battle of 9-3. Would the Niners go fishing in the Bay? Will the Pack continue their playoff push in the Music City? Can the Skins sweep the Eagles in the NFC East? We always pick up after ourselves on NFL Primetime. Next. NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman. Meanwhile, a wild scene in Cleveland, and here we go with Jacksonville at the Cleveland Browns. Now, earlier this year, this is why Jacksonville's so fired up. Jacksonville, remember, started 2-0, but early in this game, Gerard Warren.
He didn't know that was Mark Brunel.
Right. And he was fine, and Brunel hurt, and then Jacksonville lost. Close game after close game. So Brunel to Jimmy Smith, 4-yard touchdown. They missed the PAT, but it's 6-0 Jacksonville early, first drive of the game. Cleveland has done this now. This is Anthony Henry, the rookie, the one-time nickelback. He could go all the way. 97 yards his 8th pick of the year, 4th Cleveland INT for a touchdown. The fans happy, but they wouldn't remain that way. 15-10, it's Jacksonville. Minute 8 to go, 4th and 2. Tim Couch, Quincy Morgan, what appears to be a first down. Tick, 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 tick. We're going to spike the ball. And just as they try to spike the ball, well, they do it. And now Tom Coughlin saying, well, I want intentional grounding. I was the least of their worries. Then all of a sudden, the buzz came.
Replay buzz prior to the snap. We'll be looking to see if the last pass was incomplete or complete.
So Butch Davis goes nuts, but the ref on the field and the replay official, after they conferred, said, yes, we did buzz it just before that play happened. So we go backward, and here's what they saw, Tom.
And if you look at that play right there, Quincy Morgan
After
never
review,
had...
the pass is incomplete. First down, Jacksonville.
Never had possession.
And that does not go well with the fans, with Butch Davis. So therefore, and this is a scene you do not ever want to see, bottles galore, other items, Walkmen thrown on the field. And then referee Terry McCauley says, that's it. With 48 seconds to go, we're fearing for our safety, and we're out of here. So it's 15-10 a final, even though theoretically there's 48 seconds left on the clock. Teams in the locker room, now here they come back out again. Call from the commissioner's office said, you play it. Shades of that Week 17 Miami at New England game last year. They knee a couple of times. The refs again being pelted. They go off. It's 15-10, and Jacksonville wins it in the final home game of the season for the Cleveland Browns. They're on the road for the last 3. Maybe that's part of the reason why the fans, look, they've had an upbeat season in Cleveland. They didn't care for it, but as we review, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Afterwards, some of the Cleveland brass trying to put on the best face that they can.
No one got hurt, to my knowledge at least. No one got hurt. I've seen snowballs flying in New England. I've seen snowballs flying at the Meadowlands at Giants games. I've been involved in a football game where a snowball disrupted a field goal attempt that could have meant the difference in a game. So, I mean, I don't think that Cleveland's going to take a black eye over this.
It wasn't pleasant. I wouldn't suggest anything like that. But it wasn't World War III. I mean, it's a very emotional situation.
I like the fact that our fans cared that much. I have to tell you, they care about their team and they cared about this game.
Yeah, they do. But both Carmen and Al know that you can't have that. Understand where the fans were coming from. And actually, and we talked to the league for quite a bit, Tom, the way that they went through it, actually, they may not have liked it. And did it really buzz or not? Yes, they said it did. That the replay official was calling for a play as that spike was happening. That they followed the proper procedures all the way along the line, whether the Browns fans like it or not. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that apparently was the way it came out.
It took a while, but I think they certainly got it right in the end. The behavior, and that's my hometown. I love Cleveland, Ohio. It was horrendous behavior. It cannot be encouraged, and you certainly don't want to see a repetition of it. They are very, very passionate fans, but they have to hold that in a little bit. Someone could have gotten hurt.
Yes.
That's the key.
And we may find out later someone did, although we don't know of anything now, as Carmen did not, and we hope not. Jacksonville won a hard-fought game at the end. It's to the chagrin of the Cleveland fans. 15-10, Jags.